Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast, and we are here to drink some beer.
Did you miss us?
Of course you missed us. It's been a whole week since they heard from us last time.
A whole week.
Oh, man. And in that week, we were both able to pick up some international beers. You picked yours up back in like 2018.
Yeah.
And I picked mine up kind of recently. So you brought something, I brought something, and I think these two are going to complement each other really well. I'm looking forward to getting into these.
Yeah. I think I'm going to enjoy yours more.
You think so?
That's the beauty of bringing beers to share with friends.
It is.
It's not supposed... I don't see it as a competition. I see it more as...
friend sharing experiences.
Yes.
Much like touching tips. It's just friend sharing experiences.
Yes. So you were in the United States of America.
Yeah. I went over for a really quick, we called a micro trip because it was really short, and I got to pick up a few beers from Northwest Arkansas. If you've listened to past episodes, you know that from time to time when I go visit my family, they all live in Northwest Arkansas. So there's usually whatever is available in that area. And it's gotten surprisingly good. Yeah. I mean, it's like every time I go back, it's just, there's a lot better selections. So last time I went back, you were just starting to be able to get Pipeworks.
Yeah.
And now they have a full range of Pipeworks stuff and a lot of really good stuff too. You weren't able to get American Solera outside of Tulsa.
No, you needed to travel there.
You needed to travel to get those. And now I think they had 4 or 5 American Solera beers on the shelf. A lot of Prairie Artisan, just as expensive over there. I mean, honestly, the price difference from buying it online to buying it on the shelves in the States is really not that much. No. We're talking like $5 difference in some case. So it's pretty close to the exact same price, which is also ridiculously expensive. Surprisingly, there were like 3 or 4 different mead companies on the shelves there. Did not expect that. Almost bought one of those, but then I was like, nah, I'm okay. So there was a lot more stuff from a lot of different brewers, and the beer game in Arkansas is really stepping up. So they're getting a lot better stuff there than they used to. So it's nice to see like that region really developing, and I think, with the stuff coming out of St. Louis and out of Tulsa, a lot of those brewers are kind of discovering that little segment of Arkansas and redeveloping there. In fact, my brother was telling me that there's going to be a new brewery opening from a head brewer from somewhere in Colorado. So, I mean, that he wasn't quite sure where it was, and I'm like, I probably have a pretty good idea. So that could be very promising, and he says it's just right down the street from where he lives. So
nice.
Next time I go back, it'll be open, and I'm sure we'll be trying that place out as well. But yeah, today we have an American Solera Western Vibes, which is a lager aged in oak foeders, and it is 5.2% ABV. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
When I saw it in your fridge, I was like, ooh, this.
I know.
Ooh.
It's like I do love a lager, and one that's aged in oak, that cannot be bad.
Looks beautiful. It's very, very light in color, and then like quite...
This isn't, they're not going for it's like an unfiltered kind of lager. This is definitely not one of those clear, you can easily see through it. This is a very unfiltered lager, but...
Right, but I wouldn't call it hazy, because that's
not hazy. It's just unfiltered.
Yes.
For sure. It smells nice. It's light. It's clean. There's a bit of I would say floral notes on there. I'm really looking forward to digging into this.
It smells really crisp.
Yeah, this is one when I saw on the shelf, I was like, oh, 100% getting this beer. There's no way I can't get this. Yeah.
Yeah. The lager aspects are really crisp and clean.
Yeah. It's definitely a lager. I mean, when you drink it, you go, lager, 100%.
Yeah. The aftertaste has a bit of a malty, bready touch that definitely fits the vibe.
I like the the mouthfeel on this. There's a lot of carbonation, even though it's not really presented in the pour. Whenever you drink it, you can still feel the fizziness with the carbonation releasing. Again, the finishing notes, there is a bit of that dry wood oakiness to it, but it's not like a barrel aging kind of thing. It's just more of an accent note. Yeah. Which I think is quite nice. I think they did a really good job with this. This is a really easy drink beer that.
But it still has like a hit of bitterness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's good. It's really good. Would you go as far as to call this effervescent?
Maybe. Yeah, I would say when you take a swallow and you kind of swish it around your mouth a little bit, it foams up. It's kind of light. Mm-hmm. The carbonation is definitely a play here, but it doesn't give a real big lager head kind of that you expect. And you don't see a lot of bubbles floating up in it or anything like that, like you would normally see. But yeah, it's a playful beer. It's quite nice. Very, like I said, what was it, 5.2%?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could drink this all day.
Yeah, I was just going.
Quite nice.
I was just about to say the only sad part about this is that we are sharing a 33 centiliter can. I could go for a large stein of this.
Yeah, me too. Easily, it would be really nice to sit on a hot day and drink some of this.
And it would be gone before the beer turned lukewarm or flat.
Yeah.
It would be gone.
Oh yeah. So this is super drinkable. What would you give this?
4, maybe a weak 4, but it's a 4. I'm really digging it.
I would go 4, almost 4.25.
Oh.
I think it's just exactly what you're looking for in this kind of beer. I think people always give lagers lower ratings because they're like, oh, well, it's not super flavorful and it's not like marshmallow, chocolate, coffee notes, and it's not thick like syrup or anything. It's like, no, it's supposed to be light, crushable. I hate the word crushable so much. I hate myself for using that word.
I almost said it 2 minutes ago and I stopped myself.
I feel bad for saying it, but yeah, it's just supposed to be easy to drink. You want to drink a lot of it, and the flavor is there. There's no off notes here. You don't get like a metallic taste, and it doesn't taste too malty or too bready. It's really well balanced. So I would give this a 4.25 somewhere in that area. So it's right in that like 4.10, 4.15 if we were doing that kind of grading. But yeah, I really like this beer a lot.
For me, it's the bitterness is lingering in a really nice way,
which is what you want from this kind of beer. It should have a bit of a bittery nice, but it's not. It's not like overpoweringly bitter. It's just there, and when you actualize and you think about it, like, yeah, this is a nice little bitter finish.
Right. I did brush my teeth 20 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. I'm not having any residual toothpaste flavor.
Yeah.
But my mouth is still pretty opened up. if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All of my flavor receptacles are quite fresh. They're like virgin taste buds now getting bitterness. And that might make it linger a bit more, but it's a good thing.
Right, and this can was pretty cold when we opened it, and as it's come more to room temperature, I'm actually liking it more. I think the oak foeder part is coming out a little bit more.
But then
you're reaching for more of the can. Something never happens on this show. You rarely ever reach for more from the can when we're podcasting.
I'm in a good mood. There was very little left in this can.
I know, but still.
But I reached for more so we can let it sit a little bit.
All right, we'll let it sit, and then we'll revisit it at the end, and we'll jump over to the beer you brought.
Yes. So it's made in Belgium, but it has like a Japanese tone to it.
Yeah.
It is a lambic from OWA Beer.
Right, and the Japanese script on the front would be a definite indicator that they are going for a Japanese tone.
The way I remember it, I haven't had an OWA beer in a long time. I think it's Japanese brewers who went to Belgium to make lambic and then stayed there. But it's definitely made in Belgium. I think I think they're located in Brussels. And this one is from 2018, and it is their Mikan Lambic, which is Japanese Mandarin. It comes in at 5.5% ABV, and wow, okay, so this script is really finicky.
It's nonsense script. It is like cursive script in really light font inside of the bottle.
But I can see it. Mikan is Mandarin orange. Japanese Japanese lambic is fermented by wild yeast and matured for several months in wooden barrels, and after with Mikan Mandarin harvest in Japan. Not added perfume, pigment, even yeast. Mikan Lambic is the first marriage of Belgian proper beer and Mikan Mandarin.
Okay.
I mean, it even reads like Google Translate. So when we poured it, it had a really large white head that basically disappeared in seconds. It filled up glass with foam and then poof, completely gone.
Yeah, when you agitate the beer, eventually you get some of the frothiness comes back to it, but you got to really work it to get to kind of bubble up again, which means that there's probably still some good carbonation. It should be some good play in the beer itself, but it doesn't. It just smells kind of like a dusty lambic to me.
When I smelled it when we opened it, I didn't get that much.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting I'm getting some fufun aroma.
Oh, are you? I'm not getting any fufun off of this. I'm getting kind of a.
But you had fufun. It wasn't that long ago since you actually had Cantillon fufun, and I haven't had it in like a year.
Well, this to me just smells kind of more metallic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
All right.
Cheers.
Ooh, that's tart. Ooh.
It's really tart.
It's really tart.
On the initial flavor, I do get a little bit the metallic notes that you're talking about. It's really...
It's super tart.
It's super tart.
But for me, this is more of like a sour made from like 6 years ago when people were making sours like this, which is, 2018, so...
It has a bit of cascade.
Yeah, it's got a bit of that cascade, like super tartness to it. I don't think, for me, this isn't a lambic. This is just a really tart sour.
I get what you mean. I think it's lambic. I think it is proper lambic based on.
Yeah, I mean, from what they're saying, it is spontaneously fermented.
Yeah.
But I don't get any lambic from this when I taste it. It doesn't feel lambic. It just feels like aggressively tart. And
I wonder what this tasted like 5 years ago.
I would be very curious as well. Because for me, I'm not getting a lot of Japanese Mandarin. There's no orange essence coming through here in any way whatsoever.
It's pretty. It is pretty rough.
It's so sour. I don't know. It's not like the beer itself isn't unpleasant, but the sourness is so intense. It just kind of takes your breath away from it. Yeah. This one was not one of my favorites.
No. No, when I saw it in my cellar, I figured, this needs to be drank soon. And we've never had OWA Lambic.
We haven't. They used to be around quite a bit. You'd see them a couple times a year at Systembolaget, but they've kind of disappeared from the shelves here.
Really? We're over at Systembolaget? Maybe.
Yeah. They had a few of them there. But it's been quite a few years. I think it was probably right around 2018 to 2020.
Seems reasonable.
I know I've seen them at that point, but there was always a little more that I wanted to spend, and you guys bought them all, so I was like, well, I can just try yours.
So what do you give this?
I'm actually into 275.
Yeah, and I'm somewhere around the 325.
Yeah, it's just
I'm kind.
If there was any orange Mandarin flavors to this, it would be at least a 325. But I don't get any of that. I just get this really intensely, puckeringly, take your breath away sour flavor. That real kick in the teeth kind of sour flavor.
It is pretty brutal. Going back to the Western vibes, it smells a lot sweeter and maltier now. But that's probably because...
Yeah, it's had more time to open up and a little more.
But also our senses are filled with pure acid.
Yes. Yeah, I like it better now.
It's solid.
It's a really, really good beer. I'm really glad I saw this on the shelf and grabbed one.
I am too.
It's so clean. I'm super happy with Western Vibes. So if you see this, on the shelves, definitely grab a 4-pack or individual cans if you can. I think you will definitely not be disappointed.
Yeah, but the secret there is if you see anything by American Solera,
really,
you should pick it up.
That's really what my goal is. Like anytime I see American Solera, I saw American, I was like, oh, I'm grabbing this and this and this.
Yes. I think it would be hard pressed to even remember an American Solera beer that disappointed me.
Yeah.
I think if you really analyze past ratings, there's bound to be one, but the fact that I can't remember.
Well, there's some that I've liked more than others, but I can't say I've ever had one that I hated. That I thought was just a real bomb.
No.
But yeah, no, I've genuinely liked everything that they put out as a rule of thumb, which is amazing because they've been out for long enough now that they should have that dip in quality or whatever. Yep. But you've had Chase there the entire time, overseeing everything. So I think when you have the founder is still there and he's still working with the brewery and helping them create things, you don't have those dips where you see like, oh well, really the head brewer was the master behind all of their beers, and then the person left, and then all they're doing is just rebrewing the exact same beers that the one guy created that really put them on the map.
Cigar City.
I was thinking that. I wasn't going to say that, but that is exactly what I was thinking.
You were painting a Cigar City picture.
Well, there's quite a few breweries that have hit that. There's a couple of Danish breweries as well that have come up on that. I know.
But impressingly with American Solera is that they nail imperial stouts, they nail American wild sours and lagers. Apparently, they nail
their IPAs. IPAs are amazing. The ones I've had have been really, really good.
That's a stout. I don't know how many American Solera IPAs I've actually had.
I haven't had as many as I would like to have had, but I would say the 3 or 4 that I have had, I've really quite enjoyed. I think that's the one area where they either kill it or it's not quite as good as it should be, kind of. And it could just be, I don't like the hops that they picked, and that's what's really I'm picking up on. All right, well, let's wrap it up here. You can find us online at whatsontappodcast.com, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you can find podcasts, you can find What's on Tap. So until next time,
keep drinking it, dum-dums.